Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the live show. It was a nice and green day today, and crypto is popping up, so that looks real good. We'll go over that as well as usual, and a couple other coins that we usually don't look at, so we'll check out a few other things because they are looking really good at the moment. We'll have to see if they want to pull back as we have to look at the market too. So let's go ahead and check out all these stock tickers right here. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And like I said, we have a nice full list tonight. So let's just get to it and see what's going to be happening. That GCTK, let's see what that's doing. It was pulled back, and honestly, it was a perfect little pullback. They dip and rip just like this, and it's getting set up. It wasn't ready, like I was saying. The two trend lines are going to want to probably meet up. So we may even see it pull into the bottom a little bit just for a hair and then come out of the bottom and get cruising. And that's that GCTK we're talking about. And like I said, I like today's dip right here. It's hitting that MACD line. It was perfect right there from 12 to 7. And that's why you have to have that patience when you're looking at them. And even if they pop off and you miss it, it's not a big deal, but you don't want to be jumping in these things way too early. And we know that they like to dip and rip. So it was making sort of a base down here, and that's what I was waiting for. Like, they've been loving to make a base and then jump down one layer and then get set up and rock and roll. So this could be a really good opportunity for GCTK, and it is kind of on the scanners getting some momentum. It looks like what did it have? Over 109 million in volume today. So it was up there cruising around with volume. Yesterday had 172. The trading day before that, yeah, the 13th had like 685. So we're talking some serious volume, and this thing is going to get cruising here. And I was just watching for that dip and looking for it. So there you go, beauty. Same with CYN. Pulled back a little bit and then started to look much better at the end of the day. It's just in that basement, and it's just flat right at the line right there. So another one I posted, and I'm telling you, these bad boys, once they start moving, they're going to be runners. And the CYN just has to get up over that get up to that like 90 cent area. It's going to get blasting up to it. Its high was 83 today. So it did run this morning like we thought it would. And it was early. So if you were up and you were trading on the Webull, you did know it was cruising around there. So it did run up just like we thought, because it closed yesterday at 65 and today opened 65, went to 83. It's back at 59. So it wasn't that it didn't run. It's just it has to get cruising up to this 90 area, and then it's really going to get cruising. So you probably thought I was nuts when I was saying 90. That's why I wanted to tell you it ran up today to 83. So it did get up there and it pulled back. So not many people might have saw it this morning, but that bad boy is looking good. And again, just flat right there at that bottom line. So that's CYN and looking good. Let's look at that ADD. Same situation. Another one, just a little bit of pullback, just sitting right on that line. And I'm telling you, it looks like it wants to kind of bounce off of here. It has all kinds of crazy looks. The 20's not too far up from it. And ADD, I'm telling you, it looks like it wants to cruise. Yesterday, it was running up there at 183 to $3. It started to run in that after hours. And then today, it opened at 183. 188 was a tie. It came down to 171 and then closed at 180. And that's where it's at. And again, it's just sitting right there, not looking bad at all. So we'll keep our eye on all three of them because they look good. That PDYN, that did run up today. And we'll have to see. I'm not so sure it did. We kind of figured it was going to bounce up there, but I'm not sure if it's going to keep its way up just tomorrow. It just kind of flattened out. We'll have to see. I thought it was going to kind of curl more, and it just kind of made that flat look, but it was 952 to 1050. Came down into the 870 area, and it's at 935. So that's at PDYN. And again, we'll look at that tomorrow just to see if it really wants to cruise, but it did run up today like we thought, and then it did pull back there. We'll just have to take a look at it. LAC, This thing was up a little bit today, and I'm telling you, it's getting set up to get cruising here. So keep your eye on this LAC. It can run up to this like 358 area. It's at 342 right now, and yeah, it's looking pretty good to try to bounce up there. So it may pull back a hair and set back up, but I'm not even sure. It has some pretty good momentum. I guess it depends on tomorrow's market conditions, but not looking bad at all. So we will definitely keep an eye on this LAC, Lithium Americas Corp, and we do have to go through that sector and see what else is setting up there because they're probably looking really good. And let's take a look at that SYRS right here and see what that one's up to. SYRS. I know it's setting up. I was looking at it today, and it is looking pretty good right here. We've been looking at it a little bit flat. It did run up a hair, but not a whole lot. 23 to 25. It's at 22, and still looking really good right there. So I would keep an eye on this SYRS as well. It's that big old pullback. That's that company that had that insider buying, ran up, huge dip, and now it looks like it wants to try to run back up there. And remember, it ran up to like three something. So what was it, like 338 or something like that? And now it's at 23 cents. And we played that bad boy perfectly. I remember it was one of my first options when I was starting to mess with them. And I kind of just got out of it. And the next day it dipped hard. I was like, wow, that was freaking great. And so, yeah. Not great for everybody, but it just happened to work out perfect for me. And like I was saying, I explained it before, the expiration date just helps you really just push that sale along and lock those profits in. So one reason I started messing with the options, but honestly, if these penny stocks want to run, I'll jump in a few of them and trade them real quick. It's always fun, and you can lock in some quick good profits right there. But like I said, they're fast. You just get in and get out and don't try to get greedy with them. Know that they're coming right back down and just trade them smart. And like I say, if they go up higher, they go up higher. You can't stress about it. It is what it is. You take the profits and rock and roll to the next one. So SYRS not looking bad down here at these 23-cent area. Let's look at a big dog here that was running up, ADBE, Adobe. It's not even out of the basement. It was up like 450. It's trying to get out and trying to curl up right now. And I honestly, I'm not sure if the market's going to just keep on popping tomorrow. We'll go over to SPY and everything obviously later. As a matter of fact, we'll look at it. It jumped up big today, but it's hitting that 50 and it's not crossed through. It could pull back. I'm telling you, we'll go through it more in depth, the SPY and the big caps and all in the Mag 7, but Adobe just has that out of the basement look, but not crossed through. And they did look good in the after hours, but you know how this market is, so anything can happen. They do look like they want to cross through, but we'll see tomorrow. We'll know as they're trying to cross through, and they are moving. I think they're going to try to, but again, they're not promising. The charts aren't guaranteeing it. Let's put it that way. So we'll see tomorrow how they look. Obviously, we'll be on at 7 a.m. to dissect the market and see exactly what's going to happen, but let's just keep a look at all the rest of these guys. CNSP, that was up a little bit today, and I think this one wants to try to do something. It had crossed down on the MACD, and now it looks like it wants to try to get cruising again. So we'll have to keep an eye on the CNSP and see what it wants to do. It did kind of run around like 11 cents down to 10, back to 11, so it wasn't a whole lot of movement there, but it did just kind of bump around a little bit and had that little pullback look. So it could just crawl right back up and get cruising. If it does that, it's going to run pretty good. And like I said, I don't think it wants to really dip hard there. So I think you're going to get a good setup with a lot of these bad boys right here. AERT. This one was looking really good. I know we had it on the list, and it was up today, and it's starting to run AERT. So keep an eye on this Aries Technologies because it's looking really good, 78 to 84, and it closed at 83. So that one looks like it's going to continue to run up there and have some more momentum right there. How about that GEO? We were looking at it last night. I told you they were talking about it on the show, and that we were doing with Wolf and them, and they were kind of into this thing, and it looked good to me to pop up into that top and run. It ran up over $2 today, so GEO looking good. And again, that Wolf Crew was talking about this thing. I just happened to look at the chart, and I said it looked good, but it went 31.98 to 34.20. It's at that 34.20, so it was moving today, and that is that GEO group. And I was saying they got that security and protection. They were talking about the fundamentals on the show, and apparently they have good security and protection going on. And like I said, the chart looked good to me. That's all I care about. You guys know that. So it was looking good there, and it did move up, that GEO. So I would watch for tomorrow to keep in that top. It could be a good momentum play right there early. So keep your eye on that GEO and see if it's going to keep on going. ABEV, we looked at this last night. It started to move up. It's curling up. It crossed through. It wasn't looking bad. And I would say this one's getting ready to try to move. ABEV, 181 to 186. That's where it closed. So it moved up 5 cents and stayed there. And it does look good. So keep an eye on that one. It was setting up and it ran. How about that rig? I said I had to get over that 420. Stop taking that 420 break and it could run. It's at 428. It finally got moving here. So rig, it was getting held up at that 420. And today it finally got rolling there. It's at 428. It got up to 432 and it's looking good. That's at Transocean and RIG. And like I was making a joke about it having a rig at 420. It kept getting stuck there and then coming back down. So it broke through it and it's up to 430 and looking pretty decent right there. So there you go. It put its rig away, stopped smoking, and it's an oil and gas drilling company. And it does look good. It could run up into like the 470s there. So keep your eye on RIG, looking pretty good for that momentum right there. So keep an eye on that one. And let's look at that BHAT after 3 offerings in a week, which is absurd. But it is trying to curl off that bottom. I think that bottom might be in today right here, the way it ran around like a crazy thing. And it went from like 6 to 7, but it just pulled back enough to give it that look. Before the low was 6, but it got into like the lower 6 area, and it just pulled way back down there. It was up literally 6 cents exactly. Before the low wasn't exactly 6 cents. It was like, I guess, a little bit higher, I believe. But anyway, it did get down there. Actually, it got in the five. I was on the wrong day. It did get into the 5s, almost 5.5. So yeah, it got down there today, and that could be that dip and rip look. So BHAT, we've been looking at it, and we looked at it before it was running up, and then 3 offerings, crazy looks right there, and pulled back another leg down. So again, it was making a crazy base and then jumped down a level, and now it's starting to look a little better. It's not completely curled up yet, but it's looking a little better. So we'll keep an eye on this BHAT. Because anytime you're going to have 3 offerings like that, you better have something going on. So we'll keep an eye on Blue Hat right there and see when it wants to get rolling. How about this HSDT, the Helios Medical? We were looking at that, and that was looking good. That ran up today, too. I had a few people hit me up about that one running up. It was moving yesterday, 65 to 120, and then 135 to 141 today. It's back to 80, but it was moving this morning, and a couple people locked that in, and it does want to try to curl through. It looks so interesting right there. It's like 2 different charts, so I guess it might have, I have no idea what happened. I don't know why it looks like 2 different worlds right here, but we'll have to see what's going on in the morning or tomorrow, because I just can't tell. And I'll give you the example, or not the example, I'll tell you what it looks like. HSDT right here on FinViz looks like it wants to cross through the MACD, and it ran 87 to 89.60, and its low is like 70, like 0.7025. That's what it says on FinViz. On here, and they're both the same date. I'm telling you, I already looked. It says January 15th. So yeah, 85. And then on here, it says it opened. This is January 15th. I'm on the same one, HSDT. I'm looking at the same thing. And this one says 135 to 141, and its low is 70, and it's at 80. So it's like, what are they talking about? The only thing they got close were like the lows and where it closed. So I have no idea what it's talking about here. I'll have to look at it. I know it ran up because I saw it today. So I'm gonna figure that the trend spider again is probably on point. It ran up, it opened up because yesterday it closed. I remember it ran up in the after hours. It's not showing that on the FinViz, and it closed at 120, and then today it opened at 135, and it ran up a little more. So I know that happened. So that's what happened with HSDT. And again, the paid elite for FinViz doesn't even show you that, but I actually am going to have a little meeting with them next week, so I'm going to point out a few things to them. I was talking to them today, as a matter of fact, and yeah, I'm going to have a little Zoom meeting, and I'm going to try to get them back on the right page because I'm telling you, this thing's going to be obsolete soon if they don't get their program together. Because honestly, you can't use it; it's unusable like this, and I mean, the prices are just so out of there. It's not even close. And again, the stock chart, you got to know what's going on. That's what we look at. It have to be accurate. It's not even close. So there you go, HSDT. And just pointing out that you need accurate platforms. So yeah, TrendSpider definitely takes the cake. But hopefully FinViz can get on board as well now and start programming it and getting it to work at 4 a.m. and the rest of the day. I'm not sure why they can't, but I'm going to talk to somebody next week and see if they can because, like I say, if they don't, I have a feeling the platform will be obsolete besides their I mean, they have a good scanner, but again, you can make them on your own too. So I don't know. I'll talk to them and see what's going on. But yeah, the charting is just out there, and it's on a lot of them. It's not like it's just HSDT. I could point it out all the time. I just do it when they're looking so crazy like this, and but it's very often. NV. NVMI, here we go. Nova. This one is a big one. It's at 232. It did run up here. NVMI and 227 to 235. And it does look like it wants to run up here. It's in the top and looks like it could. It's a semiconductor equipment company. So NVMI. And like I said, it's a big one. It's in the top. So be careful. But it does look like it might have that momentum for tomorrow. So you keep an eye on that. And good old Lulu, this actually came back. It was looking really good to cross through. And now this is exactly why I'm saying that we're not exactly sure if that market's going to be popping because Lulu looked like it wanted to hit that line and came back down pretty good. And it's not like they have earnings going on. So it didn't happen because of that. So we still have to keep an eye on things. And that's why I was pointing that out at the beginning with the SPY when I was looking at Adobe and just saying that because I know how it looked, and so yeah, we'll go over it. But Lulu did kind of pull back there, and it did look really good. So obviously, it'll have to reset up here, and it'll get cruising again. But yeah, it did look good and didn't make it. XXII up at the hour 32. It was up all day, like just running around here. And like I told you guys, it's in that channel. You probably trade it like every single day right here, and it looks like it is setting up to get wild. So keep your eye on this bad boy, and that's at XXII. I like it. I think it looks pretty good right there and wants to run, I would have to say. And but like I said, it's setting up in that channel, so I don't know if it's going to run tomorrow, but it has some good momentum there. So keep an eye on this XXII. I don't know what they have going on, but it appears to be something happening. Today it says here, I'll tell you, I just looked at the news, but today it just said, oh, yesterday they must have had news like the last few days. I never scrolled down, but let's just look. Today, FDA publishes proposed new tobacco product standard for nicotine yield, citing VLN from 22nd Century as the only combustible cigarette that does something. Now I got to open this up and see that that complies with the new standard. Holy cow! This company will go apeshit ballistic. Washington Post yesterday featured a story on them. The 22nd Century VLN products highlights proposed FDA reduced nicotine content policy could initially benefit an estimated 13 million smokers. So something like we were saying, it did look good in that channel. I think we might have to keep an eye on this bad boy. It looks like it wants to blast through the moon. So I think we got to look at this thing and take it serious right now. It did do that reverse split back here December 17th. It's been running up these last few days, and I said keep an eye on it. You're going to get that big run today, 772 to 942, and it came down to 675. It closed at 772 according to FinViz. I'll look on here, 640 to 942, and closed at 722 in the after hours. But yeah, it's looking really, really good for something right there. And like I said, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I knew they were a tobacco company, but they have done stuff in the cannabis industry. I know that because I follow it for the cannabis industry. So I'm familiar with it, but I didn't know what they do. I had no idea what was going on. I just knew something was happening here. And you scroll down and you can tell that chart will tell you the news without even looking. And yeah, I think definitely have to keep an eye on that thing. XXII, it looks pretty damn good as that 20 is rolling up there. It's in that channel. It's got a big old channel here. Let me tell you exactly where it's at because it's about to get cruising 570 to like 993 and it looks healthy. So definitely keep an eye on this one. I'm telling you guys, been looking good the last few days. I just never even scrolled down to look at the news. It just after today, I'm like something has to be going on. I mean, it looks too damn good. So, and last time we said that, I think it was SYRS, and they were insider buying, and it flew out it went ballistic. So, telling you, I'm going to keep my eye on that bad boy tomorrow for sure. I would have kept my eye on it today a little bit better if I had known that was. I'm not a news person, but that with the chart and that news, that looks good, guys. So keep your eye on it. That's all I can say. ALLR, let's look at that. It did pull back under that 20 right there. Let me take a better look at it right here and see. It was running around 101 to 107. It got down to 96 and closed at $1. It's still over the line right there. It doesn't look terrible. It did have some pullback though today, so I'll have to take a look at that one tomorrow and just see what that wants to do right there. And that's ALLR. But yeah, that XXII, I'm telling you, that thing just looks crazy. LMT, this Lockheed Martin did run up a little bit. I thought it was up a little bit more today. Let me look. This thing says it's down, but what did it do? 485 to 488, and then it came down to 480, closed at 483. So yeah, it did close under what it opened. I saw it at like 487, so I thought it was up, but it did pull back there. I did not notice that pullback, but it did. Still looks good on the 20. Earnings coming up at the end of the month at the 28th, and Lockheed Martin, like we knew that at that bottom was down here at like 461. You're at 483. I mean, it's right there's a good pop, but it's just flattened out and looks like it does want to go a little higher. We'll look at it tomorrow, but that is LMT. And that's your Lockheed Martin, and they are aerospace and defense right there. So we'll see what's up with that, but it could get moving. And SNSE, this one has been getting set up, and I'm telling you, this thing looks like it wants to do something here. Had a little pullback today, nothing crazy. It was just running around 50 to 52, down to 47, closed at 51, so it closed up a penny in this channel, and it looks like it wants to shoot it off, guys. So keep your eye on that because it looks like it is trying to set up right here and basically shoot off right there. So I would keep an eye on that Sensi, SNSE. And I have to try to jot down. I'm looking at the numbers, but yeah, it's right over that 50, and the 20's coming up to kind of squeeze it. The MACD's pulling back, but I don't think it's coming down. I think it's rolling off of it. It looks like again the FinViz has it set up where it was probably not in the after hours. Mine looks really good for it to roll right off of there, and I have to go with the Trend Spider for sure because it looks much better. Not because it looks much better, because I know it's more accurate. I will say because it looks better. I just know it's more accurate when it comes to that. That's what I was gonna say. We'll just pick the one that looks better. We'll go between FinViz and TrendSpider. We'll just see which one looks better for us, and we'll go with it. No, we know the TrendSpider's on point. So Wintry, WINT. This thing we went over yesterday had that dip and rip look to me today. I was checking this thing out. It did run up at one point, 27 to 34. Its low is 21. It closed at 23. So it did close down and it had that pullback look. I'm not so sure it wants to get cross through coming down. It's already in the basement, so I don't know if it wants to go down anymore. I kind of think today's low, that 21 area, was probably its bottom. So keep an eye on this WINT. I'll watch it tomorrow, and like I said, it does look like it wants to get rolling up right there. Try to curl up and get out of the basement and get cruising. So we'll keep an eye on this thing, WINT. I think it's trying to get set up right here. I'll look at it tomorrow to see what it wants to do, but I think it's trying to get set up. LICN, this thing is at Lichen China one that was way down. It was up a little bit today. This thing's just running around, but today kind of looked like it might have bottomed out. I looked at it earlier. And what was it doing? 15 to 16, but it came down to that 13-cent area and it closed at 15. So it wasn't looking bad at all. And it did have that nice dip. It has dipped down to 13 before, but today I think it might have got a little bit lower. I believe, yeah, it did get a tiny bit lower than yesterday and wants to kind of run up. We'll look for this. I think you might have a reversal going on right there. So we're going to watch for that to try to get set up right there, but I'll keep an eye on it. And that is that LICN. So I'm just going to put a little line next to it so I can take a look at it in the morning. And then we'll do the Lion LGHL. And this thing was kind of just pulling back, but it looks like it's trying to stop or at least parachute itself down, which is good. And that is LGHL. And what did it do? 15 to 16. It was down at 14 at some point, but again, I think that 14 might be its bottom right there. We'll have to see how this market opens up tomorrow. Again, it's not telling me the Lion could pull back some more. It's not guaranteeing me that it's ready to get popping. Let's put it that way. And so yeah, we'll have to look at it and see, but they did try to pop up today. Apparently, with the CPI and everything else, everything was looking good. So we'll be watching it, and like I said, we're going to go over to SPY and the big cap. So I'm not completely convinced that they're ready to just get popping at the moment, but they did look much better today, and maybe that's like their real true bottom and reversal right here. So as we go through them, we'll be able to tell a little bit more. But the Cheetah CTNT, this one had pulled back, and we had figured it did, and again, that could be its bottom down there today at that 233. So I'll take a look at it. And JAGX was down as well. And I'm not sure if I don't know if that's the bottom. I think JAGX might be able to pull back a little bit more. It got down to 84 cents. It's at 90 right now. So taking a look at all them bad boys right there. There are big cats. And of course, RCAT, these ones ran back up. And it does look like that bottom was in the last 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. That's curling up really, really good. It has to get over this 20 at like 11:32. It looks like it got to about 11:15 in the after hours. That's still at 10.97 here. The other one says 11:15. I'll go with the 10.97. But it does look pretty good. And again, it does have to get up past this 11 area, say even into the 11:30, 40 area. So it has to get up there to get moving. So we'll see if it has that momentum. Again, they look like it, but I'm not so sure they want to pop so much tomorrow. They could just be jumping around. We'll see how it opens up. And that looks like a lot of them have that look, but they do look way better than they had been. So we do like that for sure. And this NIVF is looking much better as well. It wants to roll off this MACD and try to get moving. This is at NIVF. We've been looking at it for a little bit. It ran up the 13th Monday, it ran up to that 57-cent area, and it's about to get cruising again. It says it has earnings coming up on the 21st on here. I'm not so sure if it does or not. It doesn't matter on this one, but it does look like it's going to jump in that channel at 37 up to 46, and it's at that 36 right now. So keep an eye on this one tomorrow because that looks like it's going to get set up to move, and that is that NIVF, and it looks pretty good right there. And how about that ADTX? It's been in the basement forever. And it was down a little bit today, but it almost looked like it could be a little reversal as well. I think it tried to run up at one point. Let me take a look at it. It did. It got up to 21 cents. That's right. So it did try to run up a little bit. It hit that 20 area and even broke it at that 20 cents, got to 21, opened at 13, and it closed at 13. But it was testing it, so we'll have to see. And I think today, I mean, it has a crazy look. And again, this thing's been in the bottom forever. It reminds me of that ALLR. I'm telling you, when this thing runs, it's going to be over 100%er for you. It's just a matter of getting that bottom because it keeps dipping on us. And but that look right there today could be it. So maybe we are bottoming out with 5 days left to the Trump administration getting in. And then just remember, we only have tomorrow and Friday, and the market is closed on Monday for Martin Luther King Day. So if you're going to make some decisions, you either have to do it in the next 2 days or you're going to have to catch the after reaction on Tuesday because the market is closed on Monday. So just a little bit odd and different. So you got to play it a little safer, but you also got to be paying attention to everything. So ADTX still down there, and did try to test it today and tried to run up. So we'll see how that reacts tomorrow. And ELAB, that was trying to set up and pulled back today. I did see that down, and we'll have to see if it's going to pull back some more. It looked like it was trying to go up and get over that 20 right there and try to get up to that 236 and get moving. And instead, it came down to like 212. It only got up to the 228 and didn't make it through it. So we'll see. It's not the end of the world. It wasn't over it before, so we'll have to see if it wants to try to regroup and curl itself up tomorrow. So that is ELAB, and PET. This one ran up yesterday. It's just in that channel setting up. So I think PET is going to be a runner right here and be setting up. So you might want to be keeping your eye on PET because I think it is trying to get set up again. So we'll look at it tomorrow to make sure. But right now, it looks pretty good to try to get set up a second time right there and try to move. Not that it was a huge runner, but it was running up the other day, and it looks like it wants to do something today. Although it ran up today a little bit as well. But like I said, it's looking pretty good right there. And TRNR, let's look at that interactive strength and see if it's going to get strong again. I think it is finally. It did take that dip with them Thursday and Friday pullbacks, and then Monday, Tuesday just kind of and today it was just kind of hanging out here. So we'll see if that was its bottom. It's right above the MACD and could easily start to make that roll, and today could be its bottom right there, which it got down to that 252 area. So that could be it, and it's basing out, and then that thing could get rolling again. So we'll keep our eye on TRNR and see if that thing wants to get cruising again. And let's take a look at that was TRNR, and WBA is Walgreens up some more today. And like I said, it's in the top. It might even run up a little bit more, guys. So we were talking about it last night and how they got the company changed around and looks much better. And there you go. It does look much better. So it could run up tomorrow into that top area. It like run in the top. We know they like to run up there. So keep an eye on that thing right there. And also that RGTI was up today as well. And again, it's not telling me exactly that it wants to run up yet. So you have to be careful tomorrow. We'll see how they open, but it has to get through like that 1260 area, and it could get up there and fall back down. So we'll take a look at it. It is at 11:48 in the after hours. It says RGTI. So it could try to get up there, but again, it has to break through and has to have some super momentum. And it's not showing me that they really have that just yet. I'm not saying they're not going to get it. They look much better than they did, and they look like they bottomed out. Now they just got to get set up to really get moving. So they could bounce around is what I'm trying to say. So you just have to watch for that bounce around so you don't get caught in a dip, and you can catch the best dip opportunity for everything. So just keep your eye open for that. that. And QUBT, all of these have that look. It obviously ran up. This one is actually not looking too bad, but again, not completely showing us that it wants to run up. But honestly, it looks like it could run up some more tomorrow and possibly just pull back a little bit and set up. So watch for this to pull up, and again, it could get up into like the 15 area. It does look much better, but it's not saying that it's going to be popping back up to where they were in the 20s to 25 area for this one. So look for it to try to curl up, but just beware you could hit some pullback. So play them smart and safe. But again, you can play them if they're going to be if they want to run up. They've been moving a couple dollars. Just take advantage of it, but just don't hang out in them forever because again, they're moving around a lot. You can have a lot of opportunity to run in and out of these things. So that's QUBT and QBTS, and that's just why they set back up from that big run up to that big dip down. And now this one was up $1.06, and again, that same look. They all have it, so I won't go through it, but again, same thing. Just be careful with it, and that is that QBTS, that D Wave Quantum. And QMCO is at Quantum Corp. And that one, same look, just down there. This one actually, yeah, it's same look right there. And so it was up like $11 today. So it was moving. But again, they just have that look like they could, try to run up a little bit, pull back, or even just pull back a little bit tomorrow. So we have to just see how things are going to open up and how these things want to look. QTUM, the Defiance Quantum ETF, that same exact look. They all have it, so I don't have to keep going over it. But IONQ, same thing, was up 988. This one actually looks kind of the most promising out of all of them at the moment. So it looks like it wants to get through this $40 area. What is it, to like 41 and get moving. So if you want to keep an eye on one, IONQ does look pretty solid right there. And I'm not saying that the others don't, but this one kind of curl up right there, and it's pushing into that 20 and has some momentum. So you can keep an eye on that one right there, IONQ. I'll keep an eye on all of them and let you know. And that LAES is at Seals Q. And this was up like 90 cents. And again, this has that same look, but it does look like the other day was at bottom at 296 on the 14th on yesterday. So we'll keep an eye and make sure that they do want to stay going in the right direction up, and I'll keep you posted on them. SOBR was moving in the after hours. This bad boy we've been looking at, saying it wanted to get out of the basement here, and SOBR, sober safe. This one did get moving 88 to 122, and it's at like 119 right now. So it was moving in the after hours. And keep your eye on that for the morning because, excuse me, spilled water everywhere. Keep your eye on SOBR in the morning because that looks like it's going to try to keep that momentum right there. So keep your eye on that bad boy. And EONR, let's see what that is up to real quick. That actually looks like it has good momentum too, that EONR. So we shall keep an eye on that if I could type it in right. Here we go, EON resources. But yeah, it was moving today, 101 to 116, right around there. This says 94 to 117. I knew it was right around there, and it does look pretty solid to continue up. It ran up pretty good the other day on the 8th. That was last Wednesday. Last week it ran up to 305, and now it looks like it's trying to get moving again. I don't know if it's going to run up to 305, but we'll see how far it can run up. Let's see it try to get back up to that 150 area from 109, and it'll be pretty good. So that's EONR. It's an oil and gas. Keep an eye on it. 50's crawling up on that, or 20's crawling up on the 50, and it is looking pretty good right there. So I would keep an eye on that one. Trying to set up right there anyway. And let's look at that ABVE. ABVE real quick. Above food ingredients. This one's curling up really good. As a matter of fact, I was checking this out. Somebody sent this over to me today, and it was looking real good in that channel right there. 50 right there up to 52. It went 47 to 55. It's at 51. So keep your eye on this one. This one's setting up to keep moving, and that is at ABVE. So you can keep an eye on that one right there. And SLNH, let's see what that's doing. SLNH. I don't even know what that is, but it's at 210 and it looks like it's going to move tomorrow. That's all I can tell you right there on that chart. Let me see what it looks like on mine right here. SLNH, if I could type it in. And yeah, it does look like it's going to roll right off of there. 195 to 214. It's at 208. And I would keep an eye on this thing right here. SNLH looking pretty good to me. I think it's going to roll off and it wants to set up and run. So I would keep an eye on that one right there. Looks pretty solid. TNXP. Let's see what that's doing tonight. Wasn't that running in the after hours? I think it was. Let me see real quick. TNXP. I believe was running. It says it was on Finviz, but yeah, 23 to 30. It's at 27, and this does say it was at almost 27. So yeah, it was running up there and looking pretty good to try to curl up. Keep your eye on TNXP. That's trying to set up right there and looking pretty good. And COEP. Let's look at COEP here. And that one, oh yeah, that one, we said to look for that one to continue to run up. Had momentum at the top, and it was up over $1 today. So COEP, we were super early on this thing, and it did run up there quite a bit. It went what 778 up to 935. It's at 920. So COEP was a good one right there, and it did run up. And it honestly, look at it tomorrow morning. It could be another momentum play right there. It looks good to try to keep running. So keep your eye on COEP for that momentum. And AIFF, this one was up today. It was up yesterday as well, and then it pulled back down. Let me see the exact numbers here, because yesterday it ran up 190 to 580, and it closed at 315. And then today it went 332 to 390, but it's at 379 and not looking too bad, guys. So keep your eye on it. It did run up. It's trying to hit that top. I can't tell. That's that Firefly Neuroscience. And it did fly like a firefly, that's for sure. And we'll keep an eye. Like I said, we'll see if it can continue to get up to that top area, and then it'll want to run up. But it does have resistance up here right before $5. You're at 379. So we'll see if it can run back up there and get back into that run. Back into the $5 zone like it did yesterday. So that is AIFF. And let's take a look at MASS 908 devices here. And this one was running up today, hitting some resistance right there, MASS. And let's see, it was 237 to 309. And it's at 302. Where does this say? 294. And 302 is over that resistance. So I would keep an eye on this one too in the morning for some momentum. MASS. That one could be a good momentum play right there. TNFA. Let's see what TNFA. This one was running around today, 143 to 165. Its low is 109 and came down. It closed at 119. Let me see. TNFA. Let's see what this says. Well, TNFA with just one A, and that is that TNF Pharmaceuticals. It did pull back down there to that support line, and we'll see. It's curling back down. It could just be trying to set up. If it is, it's going to have a little while to set up. It's just been, I mean, it looks like a heartbeat. It's running up and down like crazy. So you can find the low point and then just trade it up into the high point on that bad boy, that TNFA. So keep an eye on that thing as well. And WETH. This is that We Touch technology, and we might want to touch on this one because it's running up right here, and it looks like it might keep that momentum tomorrow, 179 to $2, and it looks like it wants to try to run up to like that 211. So you can keep an eye on WeTouch, WETH. It does look like it has some momentum. I'm not saying it's going to pop big time, but it could run up a little bit. And DEVS, that dev stream right here, and this is like a pollution and treatment controls in Canada. It almost looks like a shell company, and this thing looks like it's about to get cruising, guys. So keep your eye on DEVS. Like I said, that's what they do. That bottom was probably at 53 cents the other day, and it is 59 to 65. It closed at 65, and it does look pretty good. And it had a massive dip. It was like trading at like $10 not long ago, and even had some nice pop-ups from like $1 up to 8 on multiple days here. So this thing could get cruising, and I think we're gonna have to keep an eye on DEVS right here. That is setting up right there, and I kind of like that thing. So let's keep our eye on that bad boy as well, because there's a couple good ones right here that we can focus on. And you trade them couple smart, and you'll knock it right out of the park right there. MDAI, let's see what that looks like. That one's pulling back. It's right in that channel right there. It's probably going to be setting up for a little bit. It did look a little better today, so 199 to 216, it's at $2, and like I said, it does look a little bit better, and we'll keep an eye on it, but it is just getting set up in that channel right there. And KYTX, this one is just running flat down here, down, yeah, just kind of building the base. KYTX, nothing too crazy going on right there. So I can keep an eye on that, see when that bottoms out right there. ACON, let's see that one, down 5 cents today. That one took a nice dip down today, huh? ACON, we'll have to keep an eye on that, see if that's its bottom. I can't promise you. We'll look at it tomorrow, but that was a beautiful dip right there, I can tell you that. 10 cents down to 3, and it closed at 5, so that's a huge dip right there. Let's watch for that thing. ACON, ACON, I'm gonna put it on this side, because that's just a crazy dip right there that we can keep an eye on. And let's take a look at BOWN. BOWN here is Bowen Acquisition. This is a shell company, and it was way up there the other day. I can tell you that. It was what was it, Monday? It took like a huge dip here. It went from $11 down to 6. And then the 14th on Tuesday, it went from 6 to 8 down to 5. And then what today is $6 up to 8.90, and it closed around 6. So this thing's taking some big old runarounds. And like I said, it had a huge dip, and it could easily curl right back up and move. Just make sure you find the bottom. It's at 660. It opened, and that bottom was where it opened at 605. It got up to the 885. So keep an eye on this thing. And it is in the basement, way down there. Huge dip. Shell company, financial, and they do pop back up pretty often right there. So watch for a bounce on BON right there. And it is bouncing around, that's for sure. So we'll make that a bouncer. And ONDS, let's see what this one's doing. We haven't looked at it in a little while. I know it ran up. It did build a support right there, it looks like. So let's take a look at it. And it is curling up, looking much better. 173 to 223. Or 233, and it's at 227, so it is right over that 20, looking pretty good. We'll have to see how that opens, but I would say that's pretty bullish, so keep an eye on that. That's communication equipment. Some of them are really setting up right there. So there you go, ONDS. I like that setup as well, and obviously watch for any dips as always, but looking good. ALGS, this one, a big, I mean, this ran up to the top so much and then pulled back. It's in that channel right there. It'll probably run around just a little bit. I don't know if it's going to get ready just yet. Doesn't look bad, but I think it's going to have to stay in that channel for a hair, and then it can get set up. We'll see what it's doing. And that's ALGS and PSQH. This one, PSQ Holdings. And this one is in that channel, and you're about to see this one probably curl up here and get moving. So you might want to keep an eye on this tomorrow. It went 365 to 437. It closed at 413, and it looks pretty good to set up right there. So keep your eye on PSQH because that's looking pretty healthy. And SVMH, let's look at that one. SVMH here. That one just split today, as a matter of fact. That's right, 1 for 50. We did know that, and we're gonna look at that. Let me jot it down. SVMH reverse split and RS right there, because that one we're definitely gonna want to look at. It took a huge dip right there for the reverse split. They always do, and so we'll see what SVMH is gonna want to do here. So it says on FinViz it was wow, it says it really dipped 118 to 123. It came down to 85, and it says it closed at 91, but then it says it's at 76 in the after hours. This is saying it's at 84 in the after hours. Regardless, it looks like it's gonna basically pull back. It's just going to dip down. We'll look at it tomorrow. Like I said, we'll get a clearer picture because it's split today, and we'll see when that one wants to set up again. And you know, these ones that split, they've been running. We'll see if they still want to. We haven't really seen many splitters lately, so we'll take a look at that one. I jotted it down. TANH, this TON. And this one's trying to make a base. It's just pulling back, and like I said, just kind of flat, making a base right here. Let's see. Yeah, I'll look at it. It has to try to get back up into this channel from 17 to 18 cents. So keep an eye on that, and we'll see if it can get into that channel. If it can get curled up, it'll look much better. It's just pretty much flat pulling back. So it's just kind of making a base as it's pulling back there. So we'll keep an eye on TANH. And let's look at that ASST because that ran up the other day. It was down 5 cents today, but was not looking bad. It didn't cross through or anything coming down. I think it was just about looking, yeah, it looks like it wants to try to roll off that MACD. It's in that channel. Unless it pulls back tomorrow, it's at 48 cents. And that channel's right there about 48, 49 up to 57. So I think that one's going to get set back up. It did run up the other day, and it couldn't get through that 50. It ran up to that 63 area. So I think that one's probably going to get another assist right there and get set back up. TRIB, let's look at that one. Trib, this one's about to get cruising, huh? That looks pretty good to roll off that MACD. That looks like TRIB. And it was up 3 cents, and it looks like it's curling up. And like I said, it looks like it wants to get cruising. So I would say TRIB is trying to get set up right there. That's looking pretty decent. BBLG, let's see that one. And that one's just coming down, hitting the line there. Let me see what it's doing over here. BBLG. And let's see here. Bone Biologics, that's what that one is. Actually, we're going to keep an eye on this one too because this one's probably going to get really set up. So I'll look at that tomorrow as a matter of fact. That's that BBLG, Bone Biologics. And LUCY, let's see what Lucy's doing tonight. We haven't looked at her in a while. She's at Innovative Eyewear or whatever. And guess what? Lucy is trying to get set up here. She was down here at the bottom at 463. It's at 560 right now. Let's just see. It is setting up. We'll just let me look at Lucy for a day or two. Check her out because she is getting set up. I think you might see a little pullback, but we'll catch that at the right price. So that one's going to be a really good setup. You can see it happening. FNGR, let's put our finger on this one. Finger motion, it's called. And it did look like it was curling up. I took a quick glance at it today, and it was looking pretty decent. 118 to 119 did dip to 112, closed at 115. It did cross through the MACD, and it does look like it wants to get rolling up. That 20's up here at like 136, so I'd say keep an eye on this finger. Keep your finger on that one because it does look pretty good. It looks like it wants to try to set up right there. And CDIO, let's see CDIO. Cardio Diagnostics is another one And again, it looks like it bottomed out on the Monday down here at like 48.5 cents. You're at about 58 cents, but it still has to get through this 50 and the 20s crawling. I'm not convinced that that one's just ready yet. So we can look at it in the morning, see if it gets ready, but we'll see what it wants to do. And that edible garden had popped up not long ago. It's just pulling back here to the back here to the I said back like twice. It's just pulling back to the 50 and the support trend line at 20 cents. It's at 23, so we'll have to see what it wants to do, and it pulls back there. And so yeah, we'll see what that wants to do, and that is edible EDBL and BDTX. I added a couple Black Diamond Therapeutics, which I was like snowboarding on a black diamond right now, but that's all good. The mountains seem to be getting pounded everywhere. Up in Vermont, in Colorado, they're all getting great snow, and I just love to look at it. I can't ride, obviously, and but yeah, hopefully one day I'll be able to throw some skis on or something and do a bunny trail. Anyway, BDTX, let's see what this Black Diamond's doing here. And it is just kind of, it ran up the other day on Monday. It's just jumping around 217 to 232. It's at 213 right now. I'll take a look at it and see exactly. It looks like it's trying to get into that channel. I'll look at the Black Diamond tomorrow, see if we want to ride on that one. And NKTX, let's see, NKTX. Nick Carta or something. I have no, maybe the N silent. It's like NKARTA. I have no idea. But anyway, who cares? It looks pretty good to get set up. That's all I care about. And it does look good. NKTX. It looks like it's going to try to roll off that MACD and get cruising. Today looks like it was probably its bottom at 218. And we'll keep an eye on that one. I think that one could be a really good one right there. NKTX, I think, is getting set up. And how about this Viking down here? This is a nice dip down here, and I think you're going to have a reversal here. And I think Laptop Travel will keep an eye on this one as well. It opened at 34.15. Its high was 35.10. It did come down into the 33s, but it closed at 34.69. And that's at VKTX. And I think it is bottoming out down here and trying to get reversed around. So we'll make sure, like I said, it's in the basement trying to pop out. We'll see if it tries to do it tomorrow and see what it wants to do. But that is at VKTX. And a couple other ones here, ATRA. Let's take a look at that one. That one is just kind of pulled back, sitting on a little. It's going to get set up is what it's going to do. It's not ready yet, ATRA. And so we'll have to keep an eye. Somebody sent these in. They said they had these bad boys. So we'll look at them real quick. But yeah, that one's just got to get set up. DATS is the Datch chat. That one ran way up the other day, Dat chat. And it looks like it might be pulling back here. So DATS does look like it could be pulling back. And again, that one ran up like a maniac. So let's look at JOBY, Joby Aviation. This one's sitting on a line right here. This one could be a good one to look at, JOBY. And this one could be getting set up, I would say. So we might have to look at that one right there, JOBY. That MVST, let's see, we haven't looked at that in a few days. I think it just ran up, didn't it? MVST, Microvast, yeah, it was running up. It's pulled back on a support line there, but it doesn't look terrible. But again, it did kind of pull back. It looks like it's trying to set up. It ran up, what, the 10th back there on Friday. And today, 203 to 233. And yeah, it's 209, but not looking bad on that 20. Let's see if it'll get curled up for MVST. And that one had recently ran. And that VSE, or what is it? VEE. I thought it was the other one. VEE. It's V and three E's, that twin V power cats. And this one recently ran up and it's pulling back here and just under a support line. So we'll have to see how that one wants to go as well. And let's take a look at WIMI. That's that Weemy hologram. We've actually been looking at this thing and it's pulling back onto a good support line. So this one could get set up, but it could take a little bit for it to set up. It's in that channel right there. So that is Weemy and SOUN. This one might be a good one to look back at. That SoundHound AI, and it had dipped down with everything else. And it looks like the bottom was yesterday at that 1241. Today it's up $1. So we might want to keep an eye on SOUN. It is looking much better now to get running. So take a look at that one. AUR, let's see that one real quick. I don't know what that is. AUR. Oh, is that Aurora, like the cannabis company, AUR? I don't think so. No, that's not them because Aurora is ACB. That's what they are. So yeah, that's not this cannabis company for sure. All right, AUR. I saw the name and thought, yeah, Aurora Innovations. Okay, definitely not. So Aurora Innovations is kind of trying to crawl up, but not really here. Let me see what it's doing a little better. AUR. It's trying to set up in this channel right here at that 655 to like $7 area. So it's at 668. It could be trying to set up here. We could look at that one. And Applied was moving APLD. Oh, yesterday it was moving. I'm sorry. Yesterday it was popping up there, not today. And let's see, yesterday it popped way up from 815 to 1083. Today 805 to 869. It's at 840. It's still trying to curl up, set up, and get good. And that is one of them, basically a crypto run kind of thing. Information technology, but I think they do. I have no idea what they do actually. I just know it has something to do with some crypto or something. So maybe they do some Bitcoin mining. I have no idea. Anyway, it's getting set up. That's all we care about. So APLD, and there you go with them bad boys. We'll go through and hit the laptop travel ones, and then we'll hit our Jolie's jams, and we'll keep on jamming, and I'll see what you guys want to see. So let me know, and I'll cruise through the messages and see what's going on. So here we go. Let's roll through the laptop travel ones and see which ones are looking really good here. AEYE, Audio Eye. I remember looking at this one, it popped up in the beginning of November or something, and it is looking much better. 1622 AI. That's what it's like, Audio Eye, and it does look good. It's up on that 20 right there and looking pretty solid. So I would say keep an eye on that one. That one is looking good to set up. And AFYA up 43 cents, and that one looks pretty good off the 20 right there. So AFYA looking pretty decent. Could stay in that channel, could run into the low 16s and just stay in that channel right there, but not looking bad. AIRG, this guy, Air Gain, it's called, and it is looking good to gain some air and get moving. So AIRG, it ran 540 to 722. It's at 704. I would watch this bad boy for a momentum play tomorrow. Looks pretty good right there. Like I said, they get some more air up there. So AIRG and AMWD, American Woodwork Corp. And this thing was just popped out of the basement. That was a beauty on Monday right there. It's running up. It's over to 20, and it was up today. I'd have to look at it tomorrow just to make sure that it wants to stay up there, but it looks pretty good, American Woodwork Corporation. And I think we looked at this, but yeah, it's at 80.04, and it does look like it's going to try to run into like the 87 area. So that's AMWD right there, looking pretty decent. And let's see, BWMX. Betterware de Mexico, SAPI something, and this one actually looks good. It's a specialty retail in Mexico, and yeah, this one looks really good to run up. BWMX. I would say watch this for a little run tomorrow. 1090 right now. It ran what 1034 to 1105. It's at 1090. Watch for it to get into the 11s right there. I think that one's looking pretty good to try to keep some momentum. And that's at BWMX right there. And CMCL, I believe it is. And this one's trying to get set up. It's on the 20 CA. What is it? CMCL. CMCL. There you go. And oh, that one's going to get cruising. Let it get up onto that line right there at 952. It's at 949. It's looking really good. So just let it set up right here, and I think you're going to have a blast off for sure. So I will keep my eye on this one. CMCL looking good right there. I want to keep an eye on that one. I'll see what that wants to do. Like I said, it could bounce up, so just keep your eye on it. It looks like it wants to. CTRM, keep your eye. Let's look at that. I mean, let's see what CTRM, Caster Maritime. And yeah, keep your eye on it because it is curling up there, looking pretty good for CTRM. And yeah, it's going to get into that 20 and get into that channel like 287 all the way up until like the 320. So that's CTRM looking pretty good. DLHC, I believe that one is DLH Holdings. And that one, oh, that one looks really good right there. Let's see what it did in the after hours here. It is on that. Oh, that one's got to run up. It's at 779. I'd expect it to get into the eights tomorrow. I don't see why it wouldn't. Let's put it that way. DLHC, that one looks pretty good too. So keep your eye on that to get running up there. It's in the channel and it looks like it wants to keep on moving. So keep your eye on that. And FLUX, the good old flux. Let's see what that's doing. And that one was moving around a little bit today, 185 to 188, down to 170, and that's where it's at. So let's see what this flux is going to try to do here. Good old Flux Power Holdings. And yeah, it's just setting up here. It was kind of flat and didn't look too bad. It did run up a little yesterday. It did close at 174 yesterday, and then it closed at 170 today, but it was up to 185. So it did get running up, and it doesn't look bad. So we'll keep an eye on the FLUX and GEOS we looked at as well, and that one was up. Not only was Geo up, this one was up. And remember, I said both of them were looking good. Of course, GEO did a little better than GEOS, but GEOS wants to go too. So keep your eye on this 1011 to 1028, and it is at 1014. So looking pretty good to go up some more right there for GEOS and GWRS right here, Global Water Resources. This one had looked good. It ran up a little bit, and a lot of these ran up and kind of went flat. And that's why I'm not exactly sure that they want to really pop up. And this one went like 1192 to 1194. It's at 1172 right now. It did run up though. Yesterday it closed before that. I know that. It closed at 1175 and today it opened at 1192. So it did bump up there, but again, it did bounce back down. What the heck did I even write here? I can't even read my writing. Hold on. Is that HBB? I'm gonna guess it is. I'm sorry. I think it is Hamilton Beach Brands. Yeah, it's gotta be. That thing looks really good right there. And look, I would watch Hamilton's Beach Brands. I don't know where beach they're at, but I'd like to be there too. Hamilton Beach Brands, HBB, looking pretty good. I would say 1706. It ran 1585 to 1706. It looks like it wants to keep that momentum right there. So I would keep an eye on that thing to try to continue its way up. HBB and IDR. This one looks like it ran up today, 1040 to 1080, but it's back at 983. IDR. Idaho Strategic Resources. It is getting set up here. It just kind of bounced around. I'll have to see how that looks tomorrow, but it don't look bad. It just kind of bounced around today. And KFS, not KFC, but KFS is Kingsway Financial. And this thing's curled up looking good. It was up 21 cents. And let's see what it wants to do. 828. It could run up here into the 860s tomorrow. It is looking pretty good to run up there. That's an auto and truck dealership, Kingsway Financial Service. Not looking bad right there. And KOP, that's good old Coppers Holding. And this thing had come out of the basement, curled up 90 cents today, KOP, and looking pretty good. I would say that wants to keep some momentum. It's at 31.60. It went 30.05 to 31.95, and it's at 31.60. And I would say keep your eye on KOP because that looks like some momentum right there. And there you go with that one. And PAVM, let's see what PAVM is up to here. PAVM. Oh, that's looking real good to curl up as well. PAVM. Hold on, let me type it in and I'll get us there. It did just get over that 20. It ran around 65 down to 58, but closed at 65. Had a good dip over to 20 and looks pretty good to me. I would say keep your eye on that. And I know we looked at that recently, that PAV Med, and that one's looking pretty good right there. I would say it's trying to get set up as well. So that's PAVM. And is that PLL, I believe I have written here. I got to write better, I think, because I can't read anything. Piedmont Lithium. Oh, here's a lithium one. This is curling up right here. PLL. And this one's looking pretty good. IDR, don't get fooled by the closing price. The volume was only 50 shares. Oh, wow. That's good. Let's look at that bad boy then. IDR, I know we just looked at it, the Idaho Strategic one. It does look like it's curled up there. Its volume there was like 77,000 for today, and IDR here. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look bad, honestly, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. But yeah, it's that support line's there. It looked like it was trying to roll, but we'll look at it tomorrow. It was down 19 cents there. It doesn't look bad, I'm telling you that. So we'll see what it wants to do. I didn't put a mark near it. We'll look and see if it wants to bounce around right there for that one. And let's go back to our PLL here. That Piedmont Lithium is looking really good. And I have a feeling a lot of these lithium and these guys are looking pretty nice. And yeah, it wants to get up into that channel. 921 would get up into the $11 area. It's at 910 right now. So it basically has to break through that, get into the 920s. So that's PLL looking pretty good to continue that way up. And let's see, RGCO probably. RGC Resources, and this one's just kind of pulling back. Isn't looking too bad though. It's in the channel, so this will set up. It'll just be a little bit. It's regulated gas, and I think we looked at it the other day. Let's look at our ship and see what that one's doing. That was up 10 cents today, and again, this thing is going to ship on out, guys. So keep your eyes on the good old SHIP 685 to 716. It's at 716, and it wants to keep on shipping out there. So keep your eye on it. I'm telling you that. It looks good. And, oh, I wrote the wrong one. It looks good. Keep that on there for the momentum for ship to sail. And what's that? SOND right here. SOND. SOND, Sonder Holdings. Oh, this one's setting up really good, guys. SOND. Keep your eye on this for tomorrow. That's for sure. 314 to 335. It's at 326, and it does look really good right there. So I would say keep an eye on SOND. That one might be a really good one. We did look at our SYRS already, and that one is trying to get set up. We know that. And let's take a look at ZEUS. Olympic Steel, and this one just curled through looking better. That bottom was down here at that 30.29. You're at 33.71, and let's see what Zeus is up to. And it's in that channel, and a lot of these have just hit the 20 today, and that's why I'm saying they look like they want to run up. This one does look like it still wants to move, but I'm not sure the whole market and all of them do. So obviously we have to be cautious and see. The charts are telling us they're not exactly ready, so we're gonna go with what the charts are telling us and obviously see what they're up to in the morning and see what's looking right and what wants to run up. But a lot of them looking good right there after today, that's for sure. And if I had to guess which laptop travel one looked the best, that SOND is setting up pretty nice right there, I must say. I don't know if it's going to pop off tomorrow. That ship is getting ready to sail out as well. So there's a bunch of them right there. I mean, them two, what other one? That PAVM, that was setting up right there, not looking bad. KOP, this one looks like it wanted to keep some momentum tomorrow. And let's see, I know there was that AEYE was looking pretty decent in the beginning. And that Air AIRG was looking pretty good too to keep its momentum up there. So, and that BWMX was looking real good. So there's a bunch of them right there. I'm just gonna go with like SOND or ship right there. So two of them, both of them look good, but so many of them. So you can choose from them bad boys. They do look good. Let's look at our Joe Lee's jams real quick and see what Agrify's up to real quick and see what that it wants to do. It was trying to get curled up. It does look like that bottom's in. I think Agrify is going to be a good one to try to run back up, guys. So keep your eye on AGFY, BLNK. That blink was up today. I believe I did see it up. Let me see if I am right or if I'm crazy. It was 146 to 152. It closed at 148. It did get down to 143. I'm not sure if I saw it down, but it looks like it's going to try to bounce off this MACD line and try to get set up here for blink charging. So we'll keep an eye on that as we usually do. And good old Sezzle, SEZL, up $26. I told you guys this thing wanted to run, and that bottom was in at that 210, and it ran in the after hours, I think, up to like 300 possibly, 307. So there you go. That bottom was 210 and it's at 307. That quick, $100 pop up like that. So there you go with that, and it should try to cruise again. It's hitting the MACD line, and I'm not so sure they definitely want to get through tomorrow. So these could have been great pop-ups today, great profit lockers, and then you get rolling tomorrow to see what else wants to get popping, or if they pull back, better setups. And that's how I kind of approached it because, yeah, they did run up, but I'm not exactly sure if they want to keep flying. Rivian was curling up, but again, not looking like it wants to get flying there. This Sterling STRL, if I type it in right, is looking pretty good. It was up $5, and last night we were saying it was looking good, and it did jump up today. But again, I'm not so sure it wants to keep flying up tomorrow. So keep your eye on it. It was a great pop today, 172 to 183. It ran like $10. It's at 177. It doesn't look bad, but again, just we have to be careful. We're not exactly sure how this market wants to run. And that SYM Symbiotic, this one's looking really good too. And this was up $1.64. And it does look like it wants to continue to run up here. So keep an eye on SYM tomorrow to try to get up to that 28 area. It's at 27.21 right now. So SYM is looking solid to continue to run up. And there you go for your Jolie's jams right there. And yeah, SYM looking good. And we'll go through crypto real quick. We'll look at the messages, obviously, and see what our spy and everybody are up to. So let's go ahead and just see what's going on here. Let me see something real quick. If I do this, I didn't even think about doing this, but if I pop up CoinGecko, I might be able to do it real easy on here. Let me just see if something. Let me take a quick look and just see something real quick. Not really. Not like I like to look at them. I can tell you the prices real quick, so we'll run through them real fast and we'll see what it looks like on the app. I was just looking at it real quick on CoinGecko just to see if I could tell the charts. I look at that sometimes. And anyway, Bitcoin was over 100,000 for a little bit. It's at 99,687 at the moment, and it's looking pretty good. Obviously, it jumped right up over that 50. It was trying to hit it, and then it jumped right up there yesterday, which obviously that market closes 7 or 8 o'clock, and then it starts back up right now. And yeah, it's over the 50 right there. It's looking pretty good, but again, I'm not so sure. It is curled through looking good at the moment, but we'll have to see if they can stay up. They could easily pull back, so we'll see if they want to stay with this momentum. And I'm not saying they're going to pull back crazy, but they might not be ready to just get wild yet. Ethereum is 3,377, and let's see what that one looks like. And yeah, it's trying to get up to that 50 right there. It's not quite there, so I'm sure they're gonna try to push it. Ripple's over $3. It got like the 319, 320 it even got to. And honestly, it almost looks like it topped out. It looks like it's trying to run up there and it's pulling back. We'll have to see. It's probably gonna pop up some more. It looks real healthy. It's not like it came through to 50 or anything, but it did run up pretty good. It went to its all-time high, I'm sure. And yeah, it's ripping. Let's put it that. It might not be its all-time high, but it's ripping right now. Let's put it that way. So there's Ripple, and honestly, we were talking about it getting set up to rip. Solana's back over 200. It's at 202. It was even higher than that. And that one's trying to push up to the 50. The 50's coming down, so it could push it down a little bit. But again, I think it's got that nice base at 180, so I'm not sure if it's going to push it down back into the 180s. It is over 200 at the moment, so I am keeping my eye on these things tonight and seeing how they run. Cardano's at 105, looking pretty good. It's back over to 50, and it is just kind of pulling back as it ran up there, but it's looking solid. Doge is at 37 now and looking pretty solid to try to run back up there. And I think Doge, yeah, it just getting ready to cruise back up to that 40, 41 cent area. So that is Doge. And Chainlink's at 21.73. Sheeb wasn't looking bad. That's up like 2%, looking a little better. So we'll see what Sheeb wants to do. Yeah, Sheeb is trying to roll back up a little bit, so that's good. And it's in a big channel right there, and the 50's coming down, but it does look pretty curled up there. Let's look at Bonk and see what that's doing. It was up a little bit, I believe, if I remember. Yeah, it was up 4% right now. And let's see, because Bonk, remember, came down to the 200, and it's sitting on that line right there. So it's interesting for sure if it wants to pull back or if it's definitely going to get moving. I mean, it's not saying it wants to get flying right now. So I Bonk could pull back a little bit. Let's see if it can keep itself rolling. And WIF was looking good. That was up. It's at 172. Remember, it was in the 150s. It was looking right to curl through, and it did. It curled up, not looking bad. And that 50's coming down to the 200, and it's all way under that. So we'll see how that plays out. But it's not looking bad right there. We knew it was curling up. And again, I'm not so sure they want to just keep popping up like crazy at the moment. So we'll have to keep an eye on all them and see what we're going to do. Let me look at a couple more because I was going to look at these bad boys. I'll look at them on mine. Let's look at JSMY USD right here. Jasmy coin. This one was getting set up. It was running up, obviously, we'll say yesterday. It's at 3 cents. It's hitting that 20. And again, it never curled up and got through. And it does kind of have that little pullback look. So that's that look I've been looking at and saying I'm not sure if they're all ready. XLM, this is called Stellar. We were talking about it the other day. It ran up just yesterday. Yesterday, it closed at 8 o'clock and changes the day. So we'll consider it yesterday, but it's today. We were talking, it ran way up, but again, it's just hitting. It's kind of just stalled out, pulling back. I'm not sure if it wants to continue up. It should, but we'll look at that. XLM, COMP. Let me see what this one is. Comp. It's COMP. It's at 82.44. I've seen it before. I'm just not real familiar with it. And it's in the channel. It's actually curling up, not looking bad. So this one could run up into the 86 area and it could pull back into like the 79. So that one's not looking bad right there. COMP. And HBAR USD. That one's actually looking pretty good and running up. It curled through. It's at 33 cents right now. I mentioned it last night and it ran pretty good. It ran from like, what, 30 cents or something? What was the bottom? 28 and a half yesterday and ran up to 33. And right now it's at 33. So that was a nice little run up right there. Here's a couple other ones. Oh, where's that paper at? Here they are. Hold on. Let me see. I jotted some down. I did that crypto show today. If you just didn't hear that, that was a good show. A lot of good people on there. And I wrote a few down. Let's look at them. Pro USD, that proppy. This thing was getting set up earlier. It ran up and hit the 20. And again, I'm not sure. I think it kind of wants to pull back and set back up. So it looked great earlier. And that's why I kind of want to go through them because I knew what they look like. And we'll see what APT USD is going to do here. That one is APT USD. That one's trying to curl up. It's over to 20, not looking bad at that $9.37 area. So I'll keep an eye on that. Let me see. FLOW USD flow. And this one was looking really, they ran up, and again, they're just at 77 cents. They all ran up yesterday. They were looking great, and they just had this little pullback. It could just be a little stair step up, nothing bad. POL USD is Polygon, and this one was looking pretty good earlier too. Let me see it. Yeah, same look, ran through the 20 and now it stopped on the 20, just a little pullback. I'd assume they're just pulling back to run up is what I think, but I'll keep an eye on everything. And SAND, good old sand. And this one, same look, went through the 20 and wants to try to curl through. It did curl through the MACD and trying to run up there. So a couple extra crypto coins for you to look at right there. And like I said, I'll be scanning the scanners way more. I already thought about it. I started relabeling them. That's all I needed to kind of do. I have too many of them, so I got to kind of organize them and label them real quick so they're quick and easy to go like to the ones that we really need to look at and not look at 50 scanners. And I'll start scanning on the show. We'll start rocking through some of the crypto scanners and stock scanners, and we'll get the live look of them. There's so many great setups. I was looking at them today going, yeah, we got to get back to doing this again because just so many great ones. So we'll get back to that and focus on them poppers because I'm telling you, my scanner will tell you every single one, the ones you've never seen before or heard of that are just popping out of nowhere. It happens all the time. So we'll get back to that as well and start crushing them. I was messing with that today, so I'm just trying to get that a little more organized so that we can do that and make that a little bit better. So there you go with crypto, a couple extra ones off the scanner. And like I said earlier, they did look great, and that's why it would be great to go through the scanner right now, see how it looks at nighttime and what we're set up to. So I'm getting that all good for next week, and we'll go ahead and start doing that as well. And then, like I said, and then Laptop Travel's got an amazing scanner. He scans the market, gives us beautiful setups, and the laptop lowdowns are great in the morning. So they're beautiful lists. And then, like I said, we'll go through my scanner and the other kind of, we'll look at what's popping, what's hot, and what everybody else wants to look at. And right there, we'll have the whole market down. So there you go with that. Let's take a look at our SPY and our big caps and see what they were up to. Our SPY was up like 1059 today. It got up to what, 592 or 593, I believe. And the only thing is, it is curling up, but again, it's not telling me that it wants to go through exactly yet. It almost looks like it wants to bounce back down. So I don't know. I'm not convinced that it's ready to curl through. If it curls through tomorrow, I'll be excited. I can promise you that because it'll be ready to rock and roll. We just have to make sure we get through it. So we'll be looking at it first thing in the morning. You guys know that. I'll be definitely looking at it, and we'll be seeing what's going on with all of these. We'll run through them. So I think it'll be an important day to see what's happening. Like I said, they kind of look like they want to bounce back down, but at the same time, you look at Apple and a lot of these, they look like they already had the bottom, and they look like they're trying to curl up and get moving. So it's a mixed look all over the place. I'm not going to lie. And that's why I think tomorrow morning we'll definitely have to take a look at things and see how they want to react and open. But let's go through everything and look. Like I said, Apple is trying to curl up. It's not looking bad right there. I would assume it wants to get through that support line and get moving. So we'll see what Apple wants to do. I want to see it in the after hours here. Yeah, I mean, that 50's right there at like 239. It has to get through that and then get into that channel. The only thing is the 20's coming curling down to it. So we'll have to see what they want to do in the morning. They are hard to tell at the moment. Amazon was up $5, hitting that 20 and still curling it down. Can it get through tomorrow? I'm not exactly sure. And I think it's more of a coin flip. So I don't want to say yes or no. I'd rather look at them in the morning and be like, yeah, they're going to move. Google looked way better today than it did yesterday. I can tell you that. Google could try to pop back up a little bit. It doesn't look bad at that 196. So we'll keep an eye on Google and Meta. That was up like $22 today. So it does look like it's trying to make that hard curl up. I would assume that Meta is trying to get back up to the 633 area. So keep an eye on Meta. That looks pretty good. And then Microsoft, that was not looking bad. I mean, they were all up. So obviously it wasn't looking bad after it was up $10. And that one does look like it's trying to get curled up. It's hitting the 50, the 20s coming down. So maybe they are trying to pop up again. I'm not saying one way or the other. I won't try to take credit and say, yeah, we knew it, because honestly, these big caps and the SPY and stuff, they could go either way. We'll know in the morning. I promise you that. We'll definitely know, not because it's already moving. We'll just have the pre-market look and kind of have a good idea of what they want to do. That's all I need. They stopped in a weird spot, all of them. So I'm just telling you what I see, and I don't want to make anything up and try to guess here. So I'm just letting you know what I see, and we'll definitely every day we go through it, and you know that. And the video looks like it's going to curl through. It's been looking pretty bullish. I would assume the video is going to make that hard curl up and get flying tomorrow. That's what it looks like to me. I can't promise you, but it definitely has been looking bullish, and it looks like it wants to do it. So I would bet that it wants to, but I can't promise you. Tesla looks real good too to run up. That probably looks the best. It was up like $31, and yeah, you're getting about 5 days out to Trump being in, and Elon's a big part. I think Tesla's going to be moving, so keep an eye on Tesla right there. It is looking really good. I would say Nvidia and Tesla, and probably Meta. Go figure. Zuck's sucking up to Trump and stuff, but and Meta looks pretty good as well to keep that momentum from today. AMC was looking much better today, up 27 cents at 351. It did just kind of bounce right out of the bottom, out of the basement, I mean. So I think that's trying to get that bottom in at that 321 to get rolling again. So that did look better. GameStop was up a little bit. Doesn't look perfect. I would say GameStop out of all of them looked the worst maybe at the moment anyway. And Chewy, this one was up $1.35. I told you guys this thing's about to fly. Hope you guys are listening, because it's been moving every day that we talk about it. It went 36.05 to 37.96, and it's at 37.39. I bought options on it, and I usually don't do these smaller ones, but I mean, it just looked way too good. I've been saying it and stressing it that it's been looking great, and it's about to curl up into that top right there. So CHWI, it is looking great right there. It's looked the best. AMC had looked really good for a while, and then it kind of just fell apart. It does look better than GameStop, but Chewy's looked the best out of them all. So take a look at it, because it is curling up there. And good old Netflix looks like it might have probably bottomed out finally. It hit the bottom, so I would say it might be safe for Netflix to say it bottomed out. It was up like $20 and 10 in the after hours, so Netflix, you might see that bouncing. And then our semiconductors were up as AVGO, but again, I'm not just convinced that that 20 sitting right there could hold it down a hair. We'll look at it in the morning. MU was up. It's hitting a resistance right there. Is it going to get through? I'm not so sure. It looks like it wants to, but what if the market opens completely red tomorrow? It's not going to, and that's the only thing. TSM took that big curl up. They have earnings tomorrow on the 16th, and it is through. It looks like it wants to make that hard curl up. I'm not so sure it wants to, though. So again, they all have that crazy look. I was looking at them already and all day, and I'm just like, They're not, they look way better, don't get me wrong. I'm just not sure they're ready to pop tomorrow. So that's all I'm trying to say. SMCI, same thing, just a little pullback there. It was up, but I mean, it doesn't look incredible. Let's put it that way. AMD does look pretty good to roll off and get rolling. So you might want to keep an eye on AMD. That one does look pretty good, I must say. So I'm just pointing out the ones that are actually looking pretty good. And like I said, the other ones aren't that great or like looking amazing. How about QCOM? Remember we were saying that was getting set up. That was up pretty good. And this one could continue its way up really nice. So keep your eye on QCOM, that good old QCOM. That looks like it's trying to get running some more. So that and AMD are looking good. And what about ARM? We haven't looked at that. ARM. That was up $7 today, and that one looks really good as well. So ARM, that one could continue to move up tomorrow as well. So keep an eye on ARM. It could be strong. And let's look at Intel because this was trying to get set up. It's right there, guys. But I'm not, it's rolling up there. It has to get up over this 2020 area. It needs 2020 vision to see straight to run. So it gets up into that spot. It can probably get moving. So it's not far. It's only at 1972. You're not far off right here at Intel. It's been setting up really nice. And I think tomorrow you're going to see it pop up over that $20 area and get moving. And then to that 2020 and pop up. So keep your eye on Intel as well. We've been talking about it and saying it's been setting up looking good. And good old PayPal here. This one was run up and is looking good. Is it going to run through that line tomorrow? If you look at it, I mean, it should, but I'm not guaranteeing you anything. So we'll take a look at PayPal in the morning, see what it looks like. And good old Snow is up, and another one. It's curling up. It looks great. I mean, but is it going to get through that MACD? It should, but I can't promise you. A lot of times I can. This one should do it. It's over to 20. It looks real good, but if that market's really red tomorrow, it could pull it back. So I'm just telling you guys to be prepared and just, just look at them. Everyone that's up early, you'll probably know what's happening. But then again, the heat map changes over at 7 a.m. and these things are probably going to dictate everything. So we will obviously look at it at 7 a.m. You know I'm on and we'll know what's going on. So let's go through the rest of them because Dell, that was up a little bit, but Dell's been pulling back. I'm not so sure it's ready yet. And PLTR, again, remember I told you not to short this thing. It gets caught up on that 50. It was up like $2 today. It does have that pullback look, but that thing could just stay there and move. And Sophie was up over $1 today, and that one looks like it wants to get cruising again. So you might want to look at that. And good old Mara was up. We were talking about it on the crypto show today. They are setting up really, really good, guys. So is it going to cross through tomorrow? I'm not sure, but it did run up today and did look pretty good. And Riot's been looking great. It was up over $1 today. And again, I have options on this one as well, and they're not far out. I don't think that you want to do these ones very far out because they are very volatile, especially these mining companies. But this thing should run up to the 14 area. It's in the 13s now. And again, we were looking at this bad boy when it was down here at like $9, and it wasn't long. It was like New Year's Eve area, and it started to bounce around. It was setting up right there. You could see it. So that was Riot. And I was saying, this thing looks good, guys. It's getting set up. It looks the best out of Riot and Mara. How about MSTR's up over $18 today? It was moving, and that thing looks like, I think it actually curled through. I think MicroStrategy is going to fly tomorrow. So it should anyway. That's what it looks like. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I can't promise you, but it has that look like it wants to move. I hope so. I got some more options for it, so I'm hoping it does. And CLSK, let's see what CleanSpark's doing because that one looks really good too. That one actually looks really nice to keep going. So keep your eye on CLSK because these ones are looking really nice. And Coinbase was up too, COIN up $20, and it's about to hit the line. Is it going to curl through? It should. I would assume that it wants to. It looks like it should. So we'll keep an eye on Coinbase, and good old DJT is getting close to getting in, and this thing is setting up now really, really nice. So it's at 40. We looked at it at the 35 area the other day, 34. I was saying it was setting up, and now you're at 40. It was at 41 at one point, and it is getting ready to rock and roll, I think. So DJT, as he's about to take office, as Trump media is about to get rolling, and what's better than having fun with it than PHUN, because that's going to run up too. And remember, we were looking at this way down here at probably like the threes, 370s, 380s, and now that's getting really fun again too. So there you go with PHUN. And let's look at Mountain. I told you this one was going to run up. It was up today over like $2. It is curling up. I'm not so sure. It has a good hook on it, and it's up over to 20 and 50, and it looks good, but let's see if it curls through. I'm hoping it does, because I have a couple options on this bad boy as well. So let's hope this curls through tomorrow. I'll be really happy if it hits that 190 area, and I got them in there a little earlier, so I'm not bad. I know I was down in like the set 170 area, and we're in the 184, so I'm definitely good with it. But I would love to see it get into the 190s right there. So that is Mountain, and remember, I told you that thing was ready to roll, and there you go with my options basically right there, and they look the best at the moment. There wasn't anything else looking great. The Mag 7 was pulling back, so I could have put it down, but these ones were ready to roll. McDonald's is still trying to set up here. It's looking a little better, like it made a base down here in the 280s. So we'll see what that does. Good old Boeing is down. It looks like it's pulling back. It should. I don't know why it runs up all the time. And then Space has been down too. Hasn't been looking good. It looked way better. It should bottom out down here in the 528 area. And we'll see what it wants to do. But it did look better before, not so great now. Good old IBM was up today. And that one, like I said, that was trying to set up before. I'm not so sure that's ready to get blasting off. And they have earnings coming up on the 29th. And it's hitting that support line, trend line. 20's coming down, meeting the 50. We'll have to see. It's an interesting one for IBM. I'm going to keep my eye on that one as well. And good old Disney was just kind of floating around today. And again, I don't think it's ready to get set up. I think they're just kind of building a base. Oxy was up a hair, and we knew this one. This one's going to run up into the top. We knew it was good at 45. It's at 52 right now. And ExxonMobil is up, and that's at 111. And we knew this was good at like 105. So this one's cruising, and it wants to run up there and get moving some more. So we knew that one was going to run. And Nike is setting up here, I'm telling you. Building a nice base, and I think Nike's going to try to roll off this bottom, and MACD line is going to curl up right here. So keep your eye on Nike. We were talking about the other day. The bottom could have been in like the 70, 53 area right there. So we'll watch Nike. I think it is getting set up. And DXYZ, this one was up $5, and I think we had its good price down here, and we'll see if it can run up to that 60 and get through it. So we'll see if it wants to pull back anymore at the rest of them. And that's what we're looking at right there. And we'll look at the VIXY and see, because that's the short term. And that one looks like it's going to pull back, and that should cross through coming down. So I wanted to see what it looked like. I don't think it's going to bounce back off the MACD at the moment. I could be wrong. Maybe it has one quick bounce a day or so, and that's exactly why the SPY looks like the way it does, and that could not cross through. So, I like I said, they're a little bit of a coin flip for me. I can't give you 100% guarantee that it's going to go perfect tomorrow. We'll be up at 7 to see what it wants to do, obviously, and then we'll dissect the market and pick it apart and know it's popping. So there you go. Let me take a look and see what you guys are writing, because Laptop Travel said for MicroStrategy, look further out. Do you not feel that Sayer strategy of offering dilution and dollar cost averaging upwards will not eventually catch up with the company? One big correction and that company's will be ugly underwater. Oh, I can't disagree with you, but I'm just playing the pops real quick, to be honest with you right here. And it did look set up. It is up $20. I'm up on my option there, and I'm just hoping that it runs up tomorrow, and I'll probably probably get out of it. And yeah, if it could run up another like $20, $30, that's a golden shot right there. And I'm just playing them just like that. So basically the ones that are trying to get set up and look right, just play them real quick, and even buy them like 3 weeks, 4 weeks out, 5 weeks out, whatever you can, making sure I'm definitely safe in case something doesn't happen the way I wanted to. I got plenty of time, and they can still get that pop up there to get out, and just take them quick pops and the profits and rock and roll it, because I'm telling you, they turn over huge profits, as you guys have seen. And yeah, you can just crush these things. So I think MicroStrategy is going to try to run. Obviously, Bitcoin got over that 100,000 tonight, and we'll see if it can maintain it, obviously, and keep on cruising tomorrow. But yeah, it does look pretty solid. What's it at right now? 99,300. So we'll see what it wants to do. It is crossed up through the MACD, just a little pullback now, but it's 10:45 at night, so it's nothing crazy going on. And so there you go. Let's see what else is going on. VSAT and PMAX for John Wong. Let's take a look at them bad boys. VSAT. That one is trying to curl up. It looks like that bottom might be there. VSAT. What is that even called? Viasat or something. Viasat, something like that. And it does look like it did bottom out. Possibly today was at bottom at that 745. Yesterday was 748. And it does. We'll look at it tomorrow. It could pull back a little bit more, but it does have that good look on it, John Wong, that it wants to get set up there. So I'll take a look at that tomorrow. Remind me that VSAT, VSAT, and let's look at PMAX, PMAX, PALMAX. Nice dip into the basement on that today, huh? Let's see if it wants to have that bounce. Oh, wow. Did it bounce right back out? I think it might have. I was going to say, let's see if it has that nice bounce look, because it kind of like looked like it might want to. And it did for sure. It didn't look like it wanted to stay in there long. Let's put it that way. Just looking at the quick FinViz now that I look at it, it does say it's up $1.09 in the after hours at 247, but wasn't really looking there. It says it closed at 138. That's what I was looking at. And it opened at 194. It ran up to 389, and it's at 263 right now. It crossed through and just popped right back up PMAX. So yeah, I would look at it tomorrow to see if it keeps that momentum, John Wong. That's it definitely had that bounce look. If you caught that bounce today, that was a beauty. It did have that look, and all eyes are going to be on TSM tomorrow. That is for sure. That Taiwan semiconductor manufacturer, and it looks good. I mean, it could make that hard curl up, Luis Rodriguez, and get cruising and roll right up to like 222 if it wants to, but it can also come right back down to that 50 at 197, and honestly, it could come right down to 190. So it's an interesting one for sure, and it's not showing you. It's literally curled through, coming down on the MACD, and went flat. RSI is curled up, but doesn't mean a whole lot right now at that look. So yeah, it's more of a coin flip for me. I'm not going to lie. That's why I don't want to say, yeah, it's definitely going up. They're going to pop. I honestly can't tell. And I like to just tell you how I see it. So I don't want to lead anyone the wrong way there. So that's what I see. And, but yeah, that VKTX, they do obesity drugs. Is that what they're up to? That Viking? I'm telling you, that thing's going to get set up and get cruising here. So I would keep an eye on it. And, oh yeah, and here you go. Today, I just scrolled down at 9 o'clock, lightning round. Sell Viking Therapeutics, says Jim Cramer. Bing, 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 bing. There you go. Buy Viking Therapeutics. Holy shit, that's so great. That's hilarious. As we sit here, yeah, they do obesity drugs. You can't laugh hard enough at that. I don't even know what this guy looks at. Like seriously, what is it? It's in the basement popping out. What are you looking at? Yeah, and it's curled down, but it's curling back up and running up. It's coming back up to this 47 area at least. I just don't get it. Like, what the hell is he talking about? Anyway, there you go. He said that at 9 o'clock, so there's your confirmation. It'll probably be popping. So yeah, there you go for that VKTX. And let's see what else is here. CCL, isn't that Carnival Cruise maybe? Am I wrong? Yeah, it is. Carnival Corp, huh? That one's curling up really nice. A lot of people are taking cruises right now, I guess, because that one looks really good, guys. At 24.98, it ran 24.65. Yeah, that thing looks really good, I must say. It could run up to that 27 area. It's curling up really good. Make sure it gets through, but it should, I would assume, down there. So yeah, CCL, I think that's looking really nice. NCLH, what is that? Norwegian cruise. What? Everyone's hopping on cruises right now. This thing looks good too. Just a little flat right there as it's trying to curl through the MACD and NCHL. And let's what is it? NCLH. Let me put it in right. You can't mix up the letters. It doesn't work when you do that. NCLH. Here we go. And yeah, 25.98 up to 26.71. It's at 26.02. It's in that channel. Looks good. It should. I think it just crossed through too. It looks really good. Everyone's going on cruises now. What are we up to? We're just hanging out, looking at charts. Fly U. This is the micro sectors travel 3 times leveraged ETN, and I bet Laptop Travel knows a thing about this one, and it is curling up and looking good. So I guess Fly U wants to fly you up, and because it's looking pretty nice, it's hitting some resistance right at the 20 and the 50 are meeting each other, and I mean it just has to pop up to 60 $60 basically, like say 60.20. It's at 50.76. It got up there today. It got to 60.31. You could tell it wants to do it, and it should curl through. And yeah, this thing looks good. So I'm guessing Laptop Travel's busy at work, and there you go. Because Fly U looks pretty good, and the cruise lines look pretty decent right there. So there you go with them bad boys. Yeah, looking good right there. We'll keep an eye on that tomorrow. And that SVMH, what did that do? Oh yeah, it's down in the after hours and big time. It did reverse split. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that thing. It reverse split. Well, that was today, right? Yeah, it had to have been. Yeah, today. Reverse split today, coming down to that bottom, and we'll keep an eye on that bad boy for sure right there. And in the overnight trading, the leaders are, it looks like IONQ. I said that one was looking pretty good. Is that say BILI? Plug is looking good. XPEV, XPEV, and cold, KOLD. Which one, that plug? Let's see what that's up to. We were looking at this before. It's just kind of building the base. It might roll off that MACD. Don't look like anything too crazy. That IONQ did look pretty nice though. I'm not lying. Look like it wants to get moving up there. Let's look at, does that say BILI? Billy? Maybe. That one's a little flat, up like 18 cents right there, if that's that. And let's see, that one is a China Aerospace and Defense. That one's setting up. We should probably be concerned about that right there alone. That's China Aerospace and Defense, and it's looking incredible, guys. So we might have to go through our aerospace and defense. XPEV, let's look at XPEV. And that's up 44 cents, and that one doesn't look bad as well. And let's look at Boyle and Cold real quick, see what they're up to. Boyle was up. I thought it was way up, $72. Looks like it wants to get into the top, but Cold, you're saying, is up. Is Cold trying to bounce off that bottom, and Boyle's not getting into the top? I'm not sure, but Boyle still looks really good long term, I would say. So keep your eyes on that. BOIL, that's run up pretty drastically since we said it was looking warm at like $38. So I would say 38 to 72 is a pretty nice warm up right there. So there you go with that. And we were all over that one. NIVF, we did do that one. It wasn't looking bad. Actually, it's looking pretty good. I remember NIVF was trying to curl up there. And let's look at Buru. We haven't looked at Nubaru in a while. And let's see what they're up to. That one could have bottomed. That one does look like it's probably going to pull back a little bit more. I'd have to look at it tomorrow, but does kind of have that pullback look. NIVF is looking great in the after hours there. Let's see what else. CNSP. Someone said that they had some good news. We did look at that. I don't remember what it looked like. I think it was trying to curl back. Oh yeah, it's actually that one had that crazy look. Actually, we have to look at that in the morning. I have to see that CNSP. It's all wild looking. Curled through, coming down, hitting the 20 and 50, met up together, just running straight. It is a weird looking guy. And so I'll take a look at that. And let's see, VCIG, early retirement. Let's see what that's up to. I haven't looked at that in a little while. VCIG, VCI Global. And that one was pulling back pretty hard today. Let it hit that line, that MACD line, and see 202 to 242 down to 152, and it's at 163. I'd have to look at it tomorrow. Not saying it's going to pop up. Maybe it'll set up and roll off that MACD right there. So I'll take a look at VCIG and TVGN. That one we've looked at. That one looks like it's trying to get set up. Another one just kind of pulling back as it's setting up. And that's like the whole market almost looks like that. So I could see them running in a week or so. Obviously, Monday's the inauguration where Trump gets in. You could see him getting pumped right after that. Crypto started rolling this today for some crazy reason, and the market didn't look too bad. Yeah, that XXII, that was definitely on the laptop list, and we've been looking at it, and things been flying, guys. So I'm telling you, keep your eye on that thing because something's going on with that company. Well, we already know the cigarette thing's going on with that company, so that was looking good. And let's see what else is happening here. Let me see. Anybody else looking at anything? Let me know. I think I got everybody. If I PKB, did we look at that one? I'm not sure what that is. Oh, that's a construction ETF. That shot up too, and I guess yeah, a lot of that stuff probably will look pretty good under Trump. Again, I'm not so sure it's going to run up too high. It could hit that 81, but it did look good today. So keep an eye on that. We'll watch it and see. They may have to rebuild California, so you may see that one popping up there. We'll keep an eye. What was that one that you were saying, Luis Rodriguez? Was it like HHH? It was. Yeah. HHH, Howard Hughes Holdings. And it had run up the other day. It's crossed through just kind of flat. This thing, keep your eye on this bad boy. It looks like it is getting set up into this channel right here, like 76, 50 something, and 80 something. So Howard Hughes Holdings, HHH, getting set up as well. You can see that one wants to run up. And Luis Rodriguez said something about them having something to do with the California rebuild. And it is a real estate company, so I'm not sure. Actually, you know what? Didn't somebody just offer him a bunch of money or something? Something just happened the other day. Bill Ackman, that's right. He offered him like $85 a share or something the other day. I knew something happened with that. URI is at United Rentals. And let's see, this one had popped out of the basement running up there. And again, are they going to keep running up? They have that weird look, that's for sure. So I can't really tell if they want to continue. I mean, it don't look bad in the after hours at that 746 area on, yeah, I mean, it don't look too bad there. It ran up in that after hours, it gave it that momentum, so it definitely looks a little better right there. So I could see that one looking better. URI. Let's look at, yeah, I did that BDTX, so we got that one. Let me see if I'd missed anything before, because I was just scrolling through. Let me see. And Ripple's getting crazy. Sezzle we did. And I think I did get everything. There you go. That's perfect. Let me see what else, you guys. Taiwan Semiconductors Q4 earnings calls at 1 a.m. What time? What is it in Eastern Standard Time for that bad boy? What time will that be tomorrow? Because I know it's, they're in Taiwan, obviously, so who the heck knows what time that is. Laptop Travel knows. That's why he posts. He's probably like, oh, yeah, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He knows right off the bat. Here we go. Luis Rodriguez is in long term and has a very low cost average. What one was that one? Let me see. Oh, that's MS. That's MicroStrategy. So, yeah, and like I said, I'm just playing for playing the quick pops and getting in and out fast. So you got it, Vance, no problem. And let's see, I think I got everything right there. And the three H's, yeah, three HHH, yeah, that one was definitely looking good for that. And oh, that was Eastern Standard Time, so they're doing it at 1 a.m. Oh wow, that's pretty wild. Cool, beautiful right there. And yeah, the yeah, Ackman wanted to do the that HHH one, so Laptop Travel was saying that that was Eastern Standard Time. So there you go. And so yeah, we'll have to see if that earnings call, I guess, is coming up in the middle of the night. Actually, you know what? Let me look at something here. I'm gonna hop into Stock Twits anyway because they do the earnings call. So let me see real quick. Let me hop into the earnings calls right here. They don't. Where are they? Why don't I see it? Unless they don't have it up for this. I mean, they should, I would think. I'll have to look and see. I'm not down. I just wanted to see if they'd have it on at 1 a.m. Um, but yeah, it's still set up for yesterday's date. So I guess at midnight, you know why? Because it's not tomorrow yet. So at midnight, they may switch it over and have it. If it's in the middle of the night, I would not doubt it right there. So we'll keep an eye. I'll look at that. I should still be up right around that time going to bed. I'll take a quick peek and see what's up with that. So thank you, Laptop Travel. I would have never known that was shooting off at that time. Let's see what's trending over here. Good old Ripple, good old H bar, Litecoin, TSM, DJT. DraftKings is down. That was looking good. I think it had run up there. Let's look at it. DKNG here. Up DK. Up. I'll just click on it. Here it is. DKNG. And that had a kind of wild run around day. It was running up because remember we looked at it down here. I knew it was on the support line at 35. It's at 38 right now. DKNG, and it did run up today 40.27 to 41.76. It just closed down and it's just sitting there. I don't think it looks that bad, to be honest. So let's take a look at that that ALT. Remember that Altimmune? That's up, and I'm telling you, we should look at this. It looks like it's way down there right now. This one might be a good one. I think I saw that oh wait, Kramer's they said something about that on the 28th. I was gonna say, did he say something about this today too? That would be great. But it is bouncing off that bottom ALT, so keep an eye. I think they have an obesity drug as well, if I remember correctly. And that Wolf, WOLF, not the WULF, WOLF, that's at Wolf speed. We were liking that the other day. It did pull back. This thing's going to get rolling, guys. That's a semiconductor one. It is looking really good. I know Jennifer Lee was looking at it. It just got caught up in all that pullback, but that one looks really good to get moving. I thought it was going to get the Wolf speed the other day, and like I said, it just got caught up. The other Wolf is good too, the Terror Wolf, WULF. That one's getting bullish and about to cross through too. So both wolves about to get howling right there at the moon. It was a full moon the other day, so there you go. They're getting popping, and they're looking good. WULF and WOLF right there. And ARDX seems to be down. Let's see, it is just pulling back. That'll set up. We can look at it, and Rivian appears to be up in the after hours right here. So it looks like it's moving up a little bit at 1396 or something. So we'll keep an eye on Rivian. It could be curling back up there. And there you go. That's what's trending right there. And boom, I think we just knocked it out of the park. Let me make sure I got everything. And it does say our Asian stocks rise as U.S. data boosts Fed cut bets, and stocks rise with U.S. rate cuts back in view. Yen at 1 month high. Inflation reading curbs talk to interest rates hike for now. And Asian Pacific markets track Wall Street gains. South Korea unexpectedly keeps rates unchanged. So whatever the heck that means, Laptop Travel probably knows a lot more about that than me. I have no idea. Oh, you already got it. they already got it up there, the stock twits, so that's cool. And I'll post it out right here. Thank you, Laptop Travel. So they do have it up. Like I said, they anytime you want to listen to an earnings call, just hop on stock twits. They I offer them all, and it is pretty cool. I said I hop on some every once in a while and just listen to it. I do enjoy business like that, and I told you guys that before, so I know I kind of just geek out to that stuff. That's my hobby kind of deal is listening to business calls and doing business stuff. I don't know, I've just enjoyed it my whole life. Anyway, UNH, that United Healthcare, that's basing out to try to get a little higher there. That's definitely going up for sure. The banks were looking good. BAC was popped up today, and some of the other ones, they look really good as well. Remember, we were saying the banking system was looking pretty good like a week ago, and we're always early. And Morgan Stanley MS, that looked good. Remember, we went through JP Morgan the other day? That was up like $4. That was way up there. So we were talking about these bad boys. We're always early, I'm telling you. So, and the United Healthcare, Bank of America, NMS, Morgan Stanley, all have their earnings tomorrow as well. Actually, that's what I was going to do when I hopped in there. I meant to look at the earnings thing. It is Bank of America, TSM, PNC, MS, which is Morgan Stanley, INFY, USB is US Bank Corp, UNH, the United Healthcare, OZK, MTB is M&T Bank, JB Hunt, JBHT, INDB is another bank, FHN, First Horizon, IIIN, and man, can I talk now? RFIL and BSVN. We don't got to go through them all because we don't care about the earnings. But yeah, they're getting kicked off there tomorrow, that's for sure. And then Friday, you got a bunch of good ones too. You have WIT and Trust, TFC, um, FAST, WBS. So you got some good ones coming up for sure. And then next week, we already know there's a ton of good earnings coming up. So lots of earnings coming up. And you know, it gets crazy during earnings. I don't know what the hell they do with them. So we'll lay off the ones and just work right around them. And we'll hit the poppers that are popping up there. And so, yeah, there you go. I would say we got it down pretty good. Couple good ones that we were looking at tonight. Again, that XXII. I'm telling you, they got some crazy stuff going on. Someone just posted the whole thing. Sarah, somebody did. So keep an eye on it. He's saying 100% this week. It's already been running up, and like I said, it is looking really good right there. So I would say keep an eye on that bad boy for sure. That DEVS, that thing looks real good too. So keep an eye on that. That rig ran up for us exactly how we wanted to. It should keep its momentum right there. That Geo should keep its momentum tomorrow morning, so keep your eye on that. That ABEV, that should. What else? That AERT looking real good. That's getting set up here, trying to get moving. LAC looking real good. That was moving up there. So we have a few of them. That IONQ, I'm telling you, that one looks probably the best out of all them bad boys and them quantum guys and all. So a lot of good ones right there. That TRIB was looking pretty good to set up and get moving as well. There was a ton of good ones. I'll send out the list. And that VKTX, like I said, anytime Kramer says that it's not a buy, you know you're in. But yeah, it's curling out of the basement right here, trying to pop back up. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that one for sure. Let me just take a look and see if anything's trending or going crazy besides RGTI looking good. That SGBX, what was that? SLNX, that one popped up today. We were looking at that bad boy. SLNX, that ran up 180 to 304. It's at 281. We were definitely looking at that before as well. SGBX ran up. The QBTS, we went through them. NVIDIA, ACOM, that huge dip. We're going to look at that bad boy. And that ADTX, I'm telling you, is trying to get set up. Blue Hat and the GCTK, I'm telling you, we're going to keep our eye on that. RIME, RIME, came down, dipping down here, and could get set right back up. So we'll keep an eye on that, see when it wants to get ready. IMTQ went hopping up today. It went a little wild. Let me just take a look over here at LAES, and Tesla was looking good here. SPXS, this is the bear for the daily 500, the SPY. It looks like it's coming down tomorrow, so it's going to hit that MACD line. It does look like it wants to pull down. That's a good look right there for us, and for it to be bullish. I'm not promising you anything, but it does look like it wants to pull back. We're going to look at that SOUN again. The BBD's looking real good right here. That's a bank company. I mentioned that. No, I mentioned a different. Yeah, that Brazilian bank, BBD. We were talking about that not long ago. It was getting set up, and it is up, and it ran up. You can see it. So yeah, the banking industry was looking good. I remember talking about it. And Ford, that's trying to get set up. I know we mentioned that the other day. Let's see how much it's run up here. Yeah, it did just run up. It has earnings coming up, but Ford would have been a good one. We picked that bottom out basically 9.53. It's about to hit $10 right there. So that was a pretty decent one. That FAMI just ran up. Remember we were saying it was going to pop. It did it today. I forgot to mention that, but it did pop. Remember, we were like, yeah, things going about to pop. It did run up the other day on the 10th. And then today it ran up again, 32 to 59. It's back to 29 and curled through coming down. So there you go. You actually had a couple chances on that one. And that TNXP we went over, and that thing's not looking too bad. It's trying to get set up. Maybe that's the bottom. We'll take a look at it. Let me see if anything crazy on this side on the volume over here. And then we'll call it a night right there. Let me just take a quick peek. MITQ, we were just saying, ran up. That PMAX, big dip. We talked about it. Anything else grabbing my attention? Not really anything too crazy here. So what is this thing? LKOR. It's probably an ETF or something. Flex shares credit scored something. Corporate bonds. Index. This thing ran up. LKOR looks like it wants to run up a little more, but not worrying about that bad boy. So yeah, there you go. I would say we nailed everything, and obviously tomorrow morning is going to be pretty important. We're definitely going to be on at 7 a.m. as we are every day, and but I definitely want to see how this market's opening, because like I said, it's a coin flip to me right now. I can't promise you anything. Looking at it, it does look like it should bounce up, but again, I just can't promise you. So we will be on, and we will be looking. CEG is up $60 since we were talking about it. That's at Constellation Energy, way up there. So we hit these bottoms, guys, and they just run up. So yeah, 1-2, we were talking about it for sure. I know that. And it was down at 225. You're at 302. I mean, it was up even more than that. So there you go. And RCAT looking any good? We went over that. Tony Troop. Let me see. RCAT. I forget what we said. It again. These things. It's the 20s right above it, and all these quantum ones, I would say IONQ look the best out of them. And the only reason why I say that is because it has that flat look where it's trying to really make that hard curl up. I'm not saying that these aren't going to do it tomorrow. They're just not giving me the look like I know that they're going to do it. And I like to know that they're going to do it. When I tell you guys, yo, this one's popping, it's because I know it's going to do it. I don't know that they're going to do it. They're not giving me that solid promised look. And that's why I'm saying we have to be careful. They could pull back. They could definitely run hard. That's why it's 7 a.m. We'll definitely be on, and we'll know what to look for and what's going on. So there you go. I think we have that wrapped up. And yeah, anything you want to look at in the morning, let me know. Hop on, shoot it over. We'll look at it, and we'll break it down and see what's popping there. So there you go, everybody. Thank you very much. Laptop Travel as always. And the Pink Wolf. I almost said the Pink Fox. The Pink Wolf, Winter Mute, and early retirement. MS, John Wong, Jay Kratz, O'Hare's Bastard Child, Louis Rodriguez, Joseph J. The Hulk Investments is in here. Bong Pre-Chan, Doge Mama 9, Sherry. NorCal is on there. And who else is here? Buddy, Sinu, Tony Troop, Tesserine, Sean, and everybody else that's hanging out. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate everybody that tunes in, sends in comments, and everything else. I think we have a great community here. We definitely pick out the poppers. I don't think anyone's picking out 100%ers like we do on this on a daily basis like this. And so we had a little pullback. And like I said, next time we're definitely going to be more prepared for that that, putting them down and hit the market both ways. This was just a good little test. So now I know I'm like, hey, I wasn't on point, and we'll get more focused in on that one and make sure we nail it every which way. So that there you go. You just learn from every little thing that you do. And again, this market moves fast. Every day is a learning opportunity. I constantly learn something new, and you never beat yourself up. You just make better trades the next day, and then that's all you can do. And you always constantly lock in those profits, move it forward into the next winter, and your account will continuously grow and just keep on moving bigger. So that's what you do. And again, focus on them ones that you really like. You don't have to trade a million of them. I know we just went through a whole ton of stock charts. I mean, a lot of them. But again, there's a lot of great setups. You focus on that one or two that you really like, and you nail them. And you just trade them smart. And that's all you got to really do. You don't have to trade 10 of them to make money. As a matter of fact, you'll probably lose more if you try to trade 10 than if you just try to trade one that you really like. So I've definitely experience that and realize that you have to cut back. And yeah, there's a ton of them that look great, don't get me wrong, but that doesn't mean that they look great today that they're going to be great tomorrow. So you zero in on that one or two that you really love, and you know exactly where the bottoms are. You know, you're watching it so you can get that best price opportunity, and then you run it up and you're safe, and you know where you want to get out, and you lock in those profits, and you just, like I said, you just rotate two or three, 1 to 3, and you just constantly just lock in profits and keep on rolling. So we're going to definitely do it. And like I said, that XXII, I would be looking at that tomorrow. We're definitely going to be looking at that bad boy. Look at the DEVS, and that Geo should be moving some more in the morning. So there's a couple great ones to be looking at. And then we'll be checking out our Mag 7, our SPY, and everybody else, and our crypto. Make sure that still looks good. And yeah, it'll be 4 days tomorrow, and about in 45 minutes, it'll be 4 days till Trump comes into office. So it's going to be getting wild. And you know we're going to have a Trump pumping. Like I said, the markets are definitely going to pull back, but we're going to be prepared, and we're going to rock and roll and hit it every which way. And there's money and opportunities to be made no matter which way the markets go. And then we'll do it on here. Trust me, we'll definitely do it. So let's get it all fired up and get rocking and rolling. It was a little crazy after the new year. I think it just went a little wild there, and I guess I wasn't really prepared for that. So it's all good. I'm prepared now, and let's get cruising and lock them in. So here we go, guys. We're going to start crushing this market together, having a good time, and no matter which way it goes. So there you go, everybody. Have a good night, and I will catch you guys at 7 a.m. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Have a good night, everybody.